In order to have a self-driving car or robotaxi, you really need redundancy throughout the vehicle at the hardware level. So starting in, I think it was October 2016, all cars made by Tesla have redundant power steering. So we have redundant motors on the power steering, so any one failure, if the motor fails, the car can still steer. All of the power and data lines have redundancy, so you can sever any given power line or any data line, and the car will keep driving. The auxiliary power system, even if the main pack loses complete power, the car is capable of steering and braking using the auxiliary power system. So you can completely lose the main pack, and the car is still safe. If you're as fascinated by cutting-edge technology as we are, you're in for a treat. Today, we're diving into Tesla's latest breakthroughs with their full self-driving technology. From the promise of robo-taxis cruising through city streets to the safety stats that are making headlines, we've got the scoop on how Tesla is not just changing the game, but also setting new safety benchmarks. Will your next car drive you to your destination while you sit back and relax? How close are we really to this future? We're breaking it all down with easy-to-understand insights, expert analysis, and we'll even touch on some of the tricky legal stuff that comes with such advanced tech. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's get started on today's journey into the future of driving with Tesla. Welcome to Tesla Stock News, and let's get rolling. You know how we've all been dreaming about just sitting back and letting our cars do all the driving? Well, Tesla's getting us one step closer to that. They're working on this robotaxi program that's looking really promising. Their latest numbers are showing that these cars could be driving around town with hardly any crashes. Like, we're talking only one crash in every 9 to 15 million miles. Can you imagine? That's like driving to the moon and back without a single fender bender. And get this, people driving Teslas with the autopilot turned on are 10 times safer than those of us driving the old-fashioned way. 10 times? That's like turning your regular car into a superhero car that avoids accidents like crazy. It's pretty wild to think that just by letting the car take over, you're way less likely to get into a crash. It kind of makes you wonder why everyone isn't driving a Tesla yet, right? I mean, with stats like that, it feels like a no-brainer. Plus, think about all the time you could save not having to focus on driving. You could catch up on your favorite show, text back your friends, or just chill with a coffee. It's seriously changing the game for what we expect from our rides. There's this thing they call the March of Nines reliability scale. That's kind of like a report card for Tesla's self-driving tech. It helps figure out when these cars will be ready to go full robo-taxi mode, like without having any support from humans. And guess what? The figures are looking terrific. They're getting closer to the day when we can just ring up a car with our phones, hop in, and speed around town without a driver. Now about these disengagements sounds techie, right? But it's just a fancy way of saying times you had to take the wheel because the car's not sure what to do. Well, Tesla's been crunching the stats, and they're seeing fewer of these times. We're talking about reaching a stage where the car might only need your help once in a million kilometers. Imagine that, you could practically drive around the Earth 40 times and just need to take over the wheel once. That's not just outstanding, it's a game changer. It makes you think, doesn't it? With innovation improving this rapidly, it won't be long until driving yourself around will feel as old school as using a flip phone. We're getting into some sci-fi movie territory here, guys, and it's extremely fascinating to see it develop right in front of us. So they got in this expert, Cern Basher, to break down all the techie stuff into something we can actually grasp. And boy, did he give. He showed us numerous graphs and figures that clearly illustrate how Tesla's self-driving technology is improving over time. The number of instances where the car becomes confused and requires human intervention has significantly decreased. You know, it's like seeing a child grow up and require less assistance tying their shoes. And this statistic will blow you away. For every 6.88 million miles driven in the second quarter of 2024, there was just one crash on Tesla's autopilot. Now contrast that with the one crash per 670,000 miles for normal autos. That is significantly safer than it is somewhat safer. In terms of keeping you out of trouble when driving, Tesla vehicles seem to be on a whole new level. These kinds of statistics are what truly get you to pay attention. Nowadays, driving is about more than just getting from point A to point B. It's also about getting there securely, comfortably, and if you're in a Tesla, maybe even a little elegantly. People are beginning to ask, why drive when your car can do it better? And it's understandable why. And it's easy to be enthused about where this whole thing is going when professionals like CERN help us see the broader picture. Okay, let's get started on the more difficult aspects, particularly the legal issues. As long as they followed all the safety procedures, you know how pharmaceutical corporations may occasionally get away with something unexpected happening with a new medication. With their self-driving cars, Tesla may be facing a similar situation. There are many legal issues that arise when autonomous vehicles become more intelligent and do more driving tasks on their own without human intervention. The possibility of giving Tesla some protection from legal action pertaining to their fully autonomous technology is being discussed. Consider it a safety net that, if they comply with all legal requirements, will enable them to promote this cutting-edge technology without having to worry about being sued if something goes wrong. However, preserving Tesla isn't the only goal here. The goal is to promote creativity while maintaining public safety. Like the controversy surrounding new medications and vaccines, this creates a lot of discussion. On the one hand, you support these breakthroughs because they have the potential to significantly enhance people's lives. However, you must ensure that they are truly safe for public usage. The question therefore becomes, how can we strike a balance between safety and innovation? How do we make sure the advantages exceed the dangers? When does, okay, this technology is ready to roll out on a large scale, end? The speed and safety with which autonomous vehicles enter our daily lives will depend on the answers to these difficult concerns. Getting it right is crucial for Tesla, upcoming inventors, and all of us who may eventually rely on these robots to take us where we need to go. It's an intriguing conversation. Here's some information that may astound you. All automobiles will eventually be able to drive themselves, albeit it will likely take longer than they anticipate. Furthermore, the manufacturing technique used by Tesla will be the most difficult to imitate. In light of this is truly crucial in the long run. It's like you're getting real-time alerts on things that might be useful, like road closures and that sort of thing. When a Tesla in front of you notices a road closure, your vehicle receives a real-time update to help you avoid becoming stranded. I believe that's the type of thing we are working on at the moment. Tesla is achieving some quite startling safety statistics, even when its fully autonomous driving system is being monitored, which implies that a human is still available to take over the wheel if necessary. Here we're not discussing small enhancements. This is a significant advancement. Imagine traveling with a sophisticated co-pilot who is always watching over you, making your trip safer than if you were driving alone or even utilizing Tesla's built-in autopilot technology. Tesla is essentially offering us a preview of a future in which auto accidents are the exception rather than the rule when it displays the data for FSD functioning autonomously within a monitored environment. Avoiding fender benders is not the only thing at stake here. It's more than just an electric vehicle. It's a component of a larger effort to make roadways safer in the future. Okay, everyone, that concludes our in-depth discussion of Tesla's driving future.